Okay, 3 o'clock, so we'll get started. Okay, let me just share screen first. Last week we were supposed to actually cover ways or methods to start your introductory paragraph. Okay, so today we'll be touching, for tutorial 16 it was on narrative comprehension. So today we're touching a little bit on compo. Okay, specifically the ways to start intro. I think that's really important because a lot of times students get stuck. They're thinking, how do I start essay? And then when they have to brainstorm for a long time. So it'll be good if you have like a list of methods which you can actually choose from, okay, to start your introductory, right? Okay, I think I don't have to go through house rules with you anymore. All of you are very familiar with that. Okay, so first things first, of course, when you start an introduction, you have to make sure you grab the reader's attention, right? Okay, I think that's the main thing to do first because you want the reader to continue reading. And then, of course, you have to hook the readers in using some strategies, okay, which we'll go through the examples later. But also because I think for secondary one, the main genre that you're writing now is personal recount, right? But in time to come, next year when you're in Sec 2, they'll probably cover expository writing as well. Okay, so expository writing is quite typical of the introduction paragraph to have a thesis statement. Yeah, the thesis statement basically gives your reader a direction of what you're going to cover for your upcoming body paragraphs. Okay, so then usually your introduction, of course, is in the first paragraph. If not, then it should be also in the first few paragraphs. Sometimes it does not start from the first paragraph. Okay, so that's how basically an introduction should be, right? Okay, so what are some methods? Today we're going to introduce you 8 methods in total, right? The first one, okay, someone typed in the chat. Let me have a look. Oh, okay. Your WA was on composition. Is it, Galvin? It's over already, is it? This week?
Last week.
Last week, yeah. Because I think coming week is already week 7 of school, right? And usually English comes first because your teachers need time to mark, especially for composition. Yeah. Okay, so either way, whether or not it's compo or compre, because different schools have different exam schedule and exam format. And I think from my knowledge, I think all of you are from different schools. Okay, I think Nadia, let me see, have I written down? Nadia just joined us, right? So Nadia is actually from Pierce, right? Okay. Nice. Yeah, so I think most of you are from different secondary school. Like Dhruv is actually from Temasek JC. Then Galvin is from Riverside, right? Nadia is from Pierce. And I think Junlei, do I have your record here? Let me have a look. Junlei, which secondary school are you from? I don't have your record here actually. Let me have a look. Ah, okay, Pasir Ris. Yeah. PRSS is Pasir Ris Secondary. So you must be living in the east. Because Pasir Ris Sec, surprisingly, is in Tampines, right? Although it's called Pasir Ris Sec. Okay, so but anyway, yeah, it's in the east. Okay, so yes, we have a new student. I think she just came in. Okay, can I have your real name, please? Because on my record, it's called Poppet, which I think does not seem like a real name. Okay, so can you please change your smiley face to your real name? Thank you. Yeah, okay. So I think you came a little bit late. Actually, we are Li Rei, is it? Okay, nice. We are actually covering ways to start an introductory paragraph. Okay, so we're actually at the first method now. So you can actually use sneak preview, or in other words, actually your primary school teacher might have taught you this to set the situation. okay, to set the situation. So the topic here is what life lessons have you learned so far through life in school, right? So I think we can get someone to read this. How about Nadia? Okay, so let's read this short passage here. 6 years of primary education.
6 years of primary education and 2 years of secondary school life has taught me some life lessons that I believe will prove useful both as a tertiary student and a working adult. I learned that hard work pays off and that at times I need to submit to rules for the greater good.
Very good. Thank you, Nadia. Okay, so in this case, actually, the thesis statement, like I said, usually for expository, there will be a thesis statement. The thesis statement is here, actually. Hard work pays off. Okay, that's one of the lessons you learn. Hard work pays off. The second lesson is that sometimes you need to submit to rules for the greater good. Okay, so this thesis statement actually gives the reader a direction of what to expect in the body paragraphs. Yeah. Okay. And then another thing is, well, basically this method is setting the situation because you just want to, have allow your readers to have like a sneak preview. When the movie is coming out, right? There will always be sneak previews. There'll be advertisement on YouTube that sort of like tease you. It's like a teaser, teases you into watching the movie, keeps you interested or trigger your interest in it. Okay. So that's setting the situation or a sneak preview. Now, tertiary basically means for you guys, you're a secondary student. So for tertiary students, basically we're referring to JC, which is junior college, poly, as well as uni. So these are tertiary students. So there's primary students, secondary students, and tertiary students. Of course, in certain curriculum or certain program, like for example, international schools, they have different names for it. So they call it like grade 1, grade 2, like high school, and then middle school, and all this. Okay, so different. But of course, in Singapore, we follow the British, right? Primary, secondary, and tertiary. Okay, now first method, sneak preview. Second method is actually definition. I think your teacher might have taught you before to define one of the keywords in the question. So in this case, the question is, what does winning mean to you? So of course, the keyword here is winning, right? So you have to define winning. Okay, Gelvin, can you read this passage, please?
Winning in the dictionary means to be victorious or successful. It can mean achieving success in accomplishment or to never admit defeat. For some people, winning means conquering a weakness or defeating a mental block. Indeed, winning means different things to different people. To me, winning means overcoming the obstacles in life.
Very good. Okay, so what does winning mean to you? He started off, okay, or maybe the author started off by writing the definition. It's not just the definition in the dictionary, but also the definition of like what most people would define winning as, right? And then of course, he wrote a thesis statement at the end because the question is asking what does it mean in the dictionary? What does it mean to other people? The question is asking, what does it mean to you, right? So that's the topic of the compo. So in this case, he actually summarized it and said that winning means overcoming the obstacles in life. So you can expect from the writer that he or she is going to talk more about how winning, how he or she achieved like triumph or won because of overcoming some obstacles. Okay. So number 2 is definition. So definition can be one of the ways you just define one of the keywords in the question, all right, as introduction. Okay. Method number 3 is an anecdote or story. Okay, can we hear from Junlei? The topic is, should we always tell the truth? Okay. Junlei, can you read this passage, please? Junlei. Kinley, are you there? Is he in the toilet or something? Okay, never mind. We'll skip Kinley first. Let's go to Lee Ray. Okay, Lee Ray, can you please read this passage? Okay. At a party. Oh, okay. Right. Okay. It's okay. I think I'll take it over from here. Should we always tell the truth? Right? So it's a question, of course, it's an expository. The way they ask the question, you know that, certain topic has certain framework and structure to it. So this question is definitely, or this topic is definitely an expository. Okay. But actually, you can use an anecdote. Anecdote means your personal story to start the introductory paragraph. Okay. So for example, at a party, a friend, Joanna, wore a bright yellow dress. This is something that has happened in your life. And because of this anecdote, it actually helps you to reflect that maybe you should or should not tell the truth. Yeah. It made her face look sallow, and its length made her calves look thick. What do you think of my dress? She gushed. I could not bring myself to ruin her evening, so I lied. If there is nothing to be gained from telling the brutal truth, it is better to suppress it. An occasional white lie does not hurt. So again, the last sentence here is actually your thesis statement. Okay, like I said, thesis statement is always found in your introductory paragraph, and it's there to help to guide your readers on what you're going to talk about later. Okay, so this I think is a very relevant personal anecdote. Of course, for expository, my recommendation is that try not to write too many personal anecdotes, because then it becomes that your argument is not so strong. If everything is your personal story, then it's quite dull. So you can use one or two, just use it sparingly, not too many at a time. Okay. Okay. The fourth method, so far we have sneak preview, we have definition, we also have your personal anecdote, right? Now the fourth method is using a quote. I think you're familiar with this. Your primary school teacher probably told you that before. Yeah. So it's really to quote someone, especially someone famous. Okay, it's a famous quote. It can be like a politician or a poet or anyone. Okay. So discuss the importance of getting an education. That's the question. So discuss, the word tell us that the genre is a discursive essay. Okay. And discursive essay actually tells us about, tells us a lot more about like stating two viewpoints. You have to be able to state two viewpoints. Okay. So this example here is using a quote. Basically, the quote here is, knowledge is power. Okay. This phrase, often attributed to Francis Bacon, emphasizes the importance of knowledge. With knowledge, we have the power to achieve great things. Today, governments are allocating large funds to education, believing it can raise people above poverty and give them a better life. So getting an education is truly important and should be everyone's goal. So again, this is the thesis statement, and this definitely tells us, it's like a sign from the writer that tells us that, okay, this writer is definitely going to write about why getting an education is really important. Okay, right? Okay, so far, so good. So far, we are halfway there for the different methods. So we have rhetorical, we have personal anecdote, we have sneak preview, definition, and quote.